Everybody, welcome to Fall Talk. Hopefully this recording will hold this time. I had a lot of problems yesterday. We got a few clouds around the area today. Overall, looks to be dry. The only change would be once we get a little bit of a southeast wind later on today. It wouldn't surprise me that we may get, I would say, an isolated shower, maybe a sprinkle, something like that could develop on the wind down the mountains themselves. Best way I can try to explain that without getting too technical. But we'll call them orographic showers. The possibility they could pop in our area. I got a 5% chance of rain just in case it happens. Most of us don't have to worry about that. Wider view shows several things. Let me start west first. There's an area of low pressure that is eventually going to track into the Great Lakes, into the Hudson Bay, and really be a factor too on Matthew on when it will begin that turn once it gets into higher latitudes later on. It has two fronts really with it. One boundary is going to come through here tomorrow, or west of us I should say. Increasing clouds, a few showers in this area. Once it gets past the Wabash, chances of any showers making it into our area is very, very slim. In fact, we're not even putting it in the forecast yet. We'll monitor the trends, but our atmosphere is fairly dry, so I really don't see that happening. We'll see, though. Something to watch for tomorrow. The second front is really attached to it in the Rockies. That'll be the one that's going to move in here as we head into Friday and Saturday. And then we've got the tropics. This is a tropical wave, really, into the Gulf Stream off the Carolina coast. Interesting to see how this is going to play into not only the track of Matthew, but the intensity forecast, because this rain is also gusty winds and thunderstorms in this area, turning waters up a little bit in this area. So we'll see how it affects the fuel once it gets in that area later on. But here's Matthew. It's got that full buzzsaw look to it. Made a landfall in Haiti at about 7 a.m., so about an hour or so ago. It moved right over the western peninsula, the Tabarim Peninsula itself of Haiti, back over open water. It looks like it's going to pass just between Haiti and Cuba, may hit Guantanamo Bay, but as typically the case in hurricanes, it's this quadrant, the northeast quadrant. That's the most dangerous part. Your strongest winds are there. The storm surge is the most intense, and this is the weakest part on this flank of it. And that's why, as long as it hugs the coast, yeah, it's going to be a lot of rain and wind for the coastline, but as long as we can keep the majority of the United States on the western side, it'll be better than be on the eastern side. Wish I could say the same about the Bahamas, especially the eastern chain, not looking good. But if the system were to push more into Charleston, South Carolina, then that northeast quadrant would aim where the United States sticks back out again. Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, North Carolina, the Outer Banks, they would be really blasted. So track is crucial, as well as the intensity. So let's get right into the latest forecast from the Hurricane Center. It does take it again, hugging the coast. It begins that bend, but you see the uncertainty cone. It could go very close as a major hurricane to Florida's coastline, if not hugging the coast itself. And then I wouldn't rule out a landfall between Charleston and the Outer Banks at this point. It really depends on how the other pieces that I was referring to in the north, our front and our low attached to our front, how they all interact with this will be a key player. The bottle spread at the moment shows where it does have that bend to it, but then there's a slight bend back again as it feels more of the ridging going on up here in the northern Atlantic and begins to bend back toward maybe Cape Cod. At this point, it should be a post-tropical type system, but a lot of heavy flooding rains in this area, though the forward motion would pick up. It's still a lot of questions on Matthew. We'll give it time. So let's talk about the effects we're going to have this weekend. We've got this front. This is the second spoke coming through as we head into Friday night into Saturday. Still some timing differences on the actual speed of when it arrives, but there's not a lot of moisture with this because we are what we call a subsidence area. I talked about this yesterday, the northwest corner of a tropical system. The air is sinking. Very dry air, very warm. We will easily overachieve in temperatures before the front arrives, so the chance for rain to survive itself in this kind of a setup is very slim. It will, however, because it is dry, allow for a significant cool wave to work its way in. Now, just how cool, I don't know yet. It really will depend on the latitude, again, of where Matthew is, will be, to me, the kicker on just how cool we get in our area. The Euro did speed up to match the latitude even with the GFS a bit, and with the Canadian as well. That would give more credits to a cooler forecast for the weekend. So I did lower the numbers a bit. Didn't go all the way to what the GFS has, which has 30s in some areas, but it wouldn't. It's an off the chain or off the out of the loop. I don't know. I think I'm out of the loop. Sorry guys, I'm half awake. I apologize, but it's in the realm of possibility. All right, looking ahead, I do see us warming back up next week. There is another little boundary, and you're on GFS vary a little bit about how much of it's going to be able to push through. It's almost like a backdoor front. May slide us back in the 60s, around the 13th or 14th. Nothing dramatic, but very active jet coming our way. A lot of cold air building to our north. So when's it going to get here? So glad you asked. Here's the long-range form models toward Halloween. showing cooler than normal temperatures likely to invade the Midwest and potentially the Ohio Valley. As we get to our election day, the core of it over the Ohio Valley. When you look at the CFS snow forecast, don't pay attention to the totals. Please don't pay attention to the totals. How many times I have to say that? Just pay attention to the pattern. It's picking up between now and probably the end of October, quite a bit of snow in the Rockies, but you see now it's starting to pick up more in the Northeast. That tells me a couple of low pressures that will develop around the Mid-Atlantic will be a common sight, and that would be some colder weather for us, but I wouldn't worry too much on the snow side of things. When it comes to the Euro, yes, the Euro is finally starting to show the chance for some type of measurable snow as we approach November. And I think it's going to be around Halloween and Election Day. I think it's when we're starting to see our pattern begin to change in a more significant manner. This is the temperature of the long-range Euro. And what you're looking at here, this pink line, is where we would have potential for frost. And you see it's showing a few opportunities for us to get to that level. The last week of October through Halloween, we flirt with the potential for maybe a frost during that period. And as far as a freeze, that's the red line. It shows certainly that risk being more prevalent as we head into November. So we'll see if November is the month that turns out to be chilly. We haven't had that in a while, so we'll see how it all plays out. Still early in the game, guys. And don't forget, my winter forecast will come out Halloween night, and I'm still working on it. Have a good day. Catch you later.